If you've been arrested in Florida, you are going to have quite a few court dates. I'm going to run down what those are for you. The first court date is what we call an arraignment. Everybody gets an arraignment. Now, you can waive it, but it's there, and it's a fancy term for this notion that this is Florida, this is America. You get to be told what you are charged with up front. That's your first court date. Up front, here's your charge. Up front, here's the maximum penalties that you face. It could be serious. And then sometimes an arraignment, they'll be like, you need to go get yourself an attorney, or you need to have the public defender appointed. One of those things can happen at arraignment. After arraignment, some counties have what they call PNC hearings, plea negotiation conferences. These PNC hearings are just what they sound like. We meet up, not you, but the attorneys meet up with the judge and say, can we work out a good resolution to this? Can we work out a plea? Can we negotiate something? Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. I've had cases that have many PNC hearings, and other times we don't want a PNC hearing at all. We're not going to play it. So those are what we call PNCs. After that, you have something called a pretrial. I would say pretrials for most jurisdictions are your most common court date. I have some racketeering cases, very big, dozens of co-defendants, and these things go on for years, and I have had dozens of pretrial conferences. Pretrial conferences, if you have a misdemeanor, we might only have a couple pretrial conferences. I don't know. It depends on the complexity of the case, right? But a pretrial conference is my opportunity and the prosecutor's opportunity to meet with the judge and say, this is what's going on in the case. That's called a pretrial. And then finally, of course, you have other court dates potentially, depending on what your attorney wants to do. You could have motion hearings where those court dates, if your motion's granted, maybe your case goes away. Maybe it dismisses, ends. You could have plea dates where, hey, you're done with the case. You've negotiated a plea and it's over. You can have trial dates where after pretrial, you're set for trial, and who knows? At the end of that trial, you might be found not guilty. You can have that trial in front of a judge, or you can have that trial in front of the jury. Either way, those are essentially how it works in Florida with court dates, and a lot of these court dates keep just repeating themselves until the case gets resolved.